All right. It's another beautiful weekend, and it's my pleasure welcoming everyone to the very first, I'll call it the first edition, right? And this is the first edition on Heart to Heart Conversation with TJO. This is a platform where we get to say it as it is, a platform where we get to talk just the way it's supposed to be. It's my pleasure welcoming everyone on board. Mrs. Afusat Ajoke Ade, you're welcome on board. And I also have a very, very beautiful woman right there in the background. Of course, she knows I'm referring to her, the woman who was checking her file just a few minutes back when I spoke with her, Mrs. Shemilola Owo Lewa. It's nice to have you on this live, Mrs. Adepoju Blessing, Mrs. Ademide Anu. Yes, everyone, you are welcome on board. Mrs. Ademide Anu, it's nice to see you again. I think I saw one of your comments where you said, am I sure, are you sure I'm still going to be able to recognize you or know you? Of course I know you. Anu, darling. That's your name. All right, it's nice to have every one of you on the platform. And yes, I have someone that goes by with my same last name, Ogini, and that's my dearest sister of all time, Ogini Kemisola. It's so nice having you on the board. Mrs. Olayiwola, you should change that Ogini, please change that Ogini to Olayiwola on Facebook. All right, it's nice to have every one of you, and today we are in here, and I believe we all know why we are here today. Is because we're going to be having some conversations around marriage, relationship. Don't forget where we started from. I already told you it's going to be a long journey. And that's because we have a lot to share with ourselves. We have a whole lot of things to impart ourselves, right? And that's because over time, you've seen a lot of people who find themselves in some mess that they felt probably they could have heard from someone, spoken with someone, shared their thoughts with someone, but probably maybe nobody was willing to hear from them. Maybe nobody was willing to say, hey, do it this way and don't do it that way. But today, you know, for me, coming back online, there's a whole lot of things that will be coming up, probably on Monday. Most of you watch the first episode of Elevating with TJO, right? And that's based on business perspective, and I appreciate everyone who tagged in on Wednesday as well for the puzzle. There will be many more puzzles, and some of them will be coming with prizes. Some might not be coming with prizes, but majority of them will be coming with prizes, right? And of course, every Friday, 6 p.m. West African time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so on. In whatever country you are, we will always be meeting like this to have deliberations, to have conversations as regarding things surrounding life, situations, love, relationship. I want to hear from you. I want to share my own experience. I want you to share your experience. It's going to be a learning curve, right, for every one of us. It's not going to be like somebody sitting like an island who knows it all. That is not me. I want to learn from your story. I want to learn from your experience too. I want to be able to share with you what I've also learned over time in the course of my journey, right? And so for that reason, there's going to be a lot to talk about today. Well, because of everything, I've set maximum of 1 hour. I don't want us to exceed 1 hour, right? Maximum of 1 hour for this. The first 10 minutes will just be towards introduction, appreciating those who are joining, and the second 20 minutes will probably be, of course, we rubbing minds on the topical issues that we have. How has it been for you, and how did it work for you? Did you have any experience of such at any point in time? And of course, from there we get to move to question and contribution. If you have contribution, you have something you want to share, there is a way of you adding yourself to this video. It's just by you clicking on requesting. There is like an icon on either your phone or your laptop, whatever it is you're using. There is an icon there where you can just click on. It's gonna give me a notification that you want to join the video, and from there I can add you in, and we'll be able to, hear your contribution, hear your opinion. What are the advices you also want to give? What's your take on the subject matter, and so on. And if you do have questions, yes, you can put them in the chat box. I will be looking at your questions, and we will be responding per time. Questions should always go to the chat box, but if you want to contribute, you want to say something, you want to contribute, you want the world to also learn from your experience, you have a better approach to all of this, feel free, add yourself to the video. I want to see you. I'm going to accept you in, and we can actually rub minds on this topical issue. So quickly, can anybody remind me what are we talking about today? Anyone in the chat box? What are we talking about? It's secrecy. We call it secrecy, right? Secrecy in marriage, secrecy in relationship. Should I let her know now, or should I let him know now? Should I keep it till later? Or probably, maybe I should even swallow it and never let it come out. How many of us have been in situations like that? How many of us have experiences of things like that? I'm not going to be asking you to share, but just let me see in the chat box if at some point in time you felt like, hey, there is something in your mind that you felt like, hey, thank you, Miss Shemilola, she's already responding. There is something in your mind that you feel like, I think I would rather let this thing just go. And I have some people, they know themselves. They are very open like a book. They practically say everything. Once it happens, they will tell you. Once it happens, they will tell you. Well, some of them got their hands burnt in that process. Some of them felt like, I wish I never did it, right? And some felt like, I wish I could have told him, or I wish I even let her know earlier enough. Which of that category do you belong to? I want to hear from you before we go too deep in this. Are you in the category of those who tell it all, and maybe you end up regretting telling it all? Are you in the category of those who felt like, I'd rather die with this secret, let me not tell anybody? I know my own category. I mean, I've let out a couple of things in love, in relationship, and I've let out a lot of things that sometimes you feel like, maybe I shouldn't have even shared that testimony. Maybe I shouldn't have even shared their news. Maybe I shouldn't have even let her know. Maybe I shouldn't have even let him know. Which category do you belong to? Adepoju Blessing said, I am the category of tell it all. I don't want to hear from outsider. All right, Ms. Adepoju said she wants his man. I mean, this should be Mrs. I believe, Mrs. Adepoju. Ms. Adepoju said you want her own man to tell it all. Whatever it is, tell me. I do not want to hear it from where? From outsiders. Let me see in the comment section, what category do you belong to? For those who are actively watching right now, are you in the category of tell it all? Are you in the category of don't tell it all? There is somebody in the chat box, Olowo Yeye Iyano Deborah. That's my beautiful sister. She said, no need to tell. All right, no need to tell. That was a very straightforward answer. Don't tell. What could have led to that? All right, are you talking from experience right now? Have you said something that you feel like, never ever again, I'm not going to tell anybody anything, right? Miss Shemilola said, I tell it all. It's better you hear it from me. I tell it all. It is better you hear it from me than for you to hear it from outsiders. I think Mrs. Shemilola, Mrs. Dekpoju, they are all in the same category right now. The category of those who want to tell it all, the category of those who just want to let it out. I don't want you to go hear from other person that this happened. Let me tell you, and let me be responsible for the consequences, right? That is the category. I want to see more responses. What category do you belong to in relationship? Do you feel it's okay for you to tell it all? Do you feel it's okay for you to withhold some things and just not say it, maybe wait for the right time? Do you think it's okay for you to just swallow it and probably not let the person know about it? You should always, I mean, you're going to have to belong to one of those categories, right? So when we talk about secrecy in relationship, in marriage, I would say that looking at it from the relationship standpoint, secrecy might not really be as deep when it comes to a relationship as when compared with secrecy in marriage, right? Some people choose to keep it. Some people choose to say, hey, this is just relationship. I don't know if this is even going to lead to marriage. Let me keep this for now. Let me not say it. Let me not say anything for now. Let me just keep watching this guy. This guy that his mouth is sweet. Let me watch him if it is actually genuine or not, right? Okay. If it's hot, don't bother saying it. That is from Adewale Elizabeth Oluwadamilola. If it's hot, don't bother saying it. So let me ask, Ms. Adewale Elizabeth, what if it's not hot? You should be able to say it, right? I love this because everybody will be coming from different perspective, and I love that. And that is why we are here. That is what we are here for, to learn, to rub minds, to see what and what should be done. Should you let it out? Should you keep it in? And so on and so forth. just what you need to know. Ademide Ano said, it's just what you need to know. I'm not going to tell you everything. I'll only tell you what you need to know. So what if the one you felt you should not know, what if he eventually knows? What happened? Where are the men in the house? I want to see more men in the house. I want to hear from men as well. Let's get to see from the men's perspective. What are the men saying? Someone, Brichter said, some things are better not say. Do we all agree with that? Some things are better not said. Just leave it as it is, right? But as I said, this is we trying to create a preamble as regarding the secrecy aspects in relationship, the secrecy aspects in marriages, and so on. As I've said, it might not really be taken that serious at the relationship stage, but it becomes very crucial when it gets to the marriage level, right? But don't forget, no matter how much we want to see it, relationship precedes marriage. So it is what you start with that would eventually push you when you get into that marriage, right? If you have the habit of, well, I've seen so many contributions right here, I would rather not say it. Oh, I would rather go ahead and tell him. I would rather not tell him things. I would rather keep this and so on. Oh, let me just not tell her, right? Let me just not tell her about this. If she knows now, things might go haywire and so on and so forth. Let me quickly tell you a quick story. Maybe this story might really help you understand, and I'm going to be taking your contributions based on that story. So please just listen very carefully. It's something that happened to a very, very close ally of mine, very, very close friend of mine, a brother, so to say. So he described the story. He said there was this time while they were in a rented apartment. There is this particular man that lives very close to them, like a neighbor. They are just like adjacent of each other. And a whole lot of things weren't going fine. The wife had some trust issue, infidelity issue with the husband. And so the wife approached this other man, which happens to be my friend. The wife approached the man and said, I just want to tell you this, but please, 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 you know your wife loves my husband so well. I don't want you to tell your wife about this. Because if you tell your wife, it's going to change your wife's perspective towards my husband. I don't want that to happen. I'm only telling you this because you are a man, right? But please, please, please don't tell your wife about this. I hope you're following, right? All right. So the man heard the whole story. The man heard the whole scenario. Oh, this is what my husband is doing. He does this. He does that. Now he's this. He used to be good before. Now he's bad. The good guy has gone bad and all of those stuff, right? And it was very simple. Don't tell your wife about this, please. You know, your wife holds my husband in an high esteem. I don't want their relationship to jeopardize because of this, but just keep it away from your wife. And the man said, it's okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Since you trusted me with your secret, you can always count on my confidentiality. I won't disclose this to anybody. It's just going to be between us. Well, everything was going fine. Everything was going smoothly. And it got to a point, you'll be surprised. It got to a point where one day, the wife approached the husband about maybe 2 days after or 3 days after. He said, did you know anything about Mr. XYZ and so on? The husband said, why did you ask? No, I don't know anything about him. He said, oh, are you sure you don't know anything about that man and so on and so forth? The husband said, yes, I don't know. What are you saying? Did you suspect anything? Did you hear of anything? And this is where the biggest shock came from. The wife of my own friend said, well, his wife told me that he already told you. He said, so the wife of the man came to me to narrate what is going on about her husband. And he said, please, I've already told your husband about this. Just be supporting us in prayer. Whereas the same woman told the husband, please don't tell your wife in this situation. Keep it as a secret for me. Don't let anybody know about this. The question to you, to everyone who is listening, is the man guilty to have kept that secret from the wife? I want to see from the chat box. I want to hear you talk. I want to hear your contribution. Is the man guilty to have let out that information to say, hey, this is what is going on. She told me not to tell you, but I have to tell you. Do you think the man should have done that? Or do you think probably, just probably, the man is right to have not informed the wife? Which of these do you think the man is right, or do you think the man is wrong? Feel free, you might want to tag along. We're still talking about secrecy in marriages and in relationship and so on. I'm going to be taking this in line to relationship as well, but I really want to hear from you. What's your take? Who do you think is wrong at this point? I mean, the wife told the man, don't tell your wife. The same wife went ahead to tell the wife of the man, this is what is happening in my home. This is what is going on. And I've also told your husband. So now, where the problem came from was the fact that the woman, the wife of my own friend, approached the husband and said, so for real, someone told you something not to tell me and you kept it away from me? And that was the problem. That was where the problem started from. That was where the problem started from. Miss Shemilala said, the man is right. Do you also agree that the man is right for not telling his wife? Do you think the man should have just, tell the wife and say, please, oh, she told me not to tell you. What? I want to hear from you, right? The man is right, the man is wrong, the man is this. I wouldn't want to know your take on that subject matter. Do you think the man was wrong to have let go of not telling the wife? Or do you think the man was right to have just kept it a secret? Because at this point right now, the man felt so bad. So bad, like, but she actually told me not to tell you. But still, the wife was, even if that is what happened, do you mean you actually not tell me? What if it's much more than that? We are husband and wife. You shouldn't hide anything from me. Why didn't you tell me? Is the husband right not to have told the wife? Is the husband wrong to have kept it away? Mrs. Elizabeth said the man is actually looking out for her peace of mind. It is the other woman that the man is actually looking out for her peace of mind. It is the other woman that they should both be wary of. Okay. Some said, the man is only trying to watch out for his wife. It is the other person that, the third party that they should be wary of. But do you know the wife actually took it personal and begin to feel like, oh, that means there are some things you are not telling me in this marriage. So that means there are some things that you are keeping away from me. Secrecy in marriage, secrecy in relationship. Should you tell it now? Should you wait till later? Or should you probably swallow it and not say it? Another comment section says the wife should be able to understand and not quarrel with her husband. The wife should be able to understand and probably not quarrel with the husband. Why do you have to quarrel with your husband? That is what somebody is saying. But at the same point, there is another twist to that. Because the wife felt like, you shouldn't have kept it away from me. And now this takes us to another level of this conversation. Take for instance, my profession is a lawyer. And I've signed, is it the oath of secrecy? Now, whatever it is that happens and so on, I'm going to have to keep it away from my personal life. I'm just going to have to treat it the way it is. In that situation, I would not expect either my person I'm in relationship with or the person I'm in marriage with to say, hey, why didn't you tell me of that case? You should have told me. That's my profession. I might not want to disclose that. That's for me personally. I might not want to disclose that, right? And for me, actually, my view towards this is just that, see, if there are things that you know fully well that this might end up ruining or possibly creating a mistrust or break, either in your relationship or marriage, see, it's better you let it out. And I'm being honest with you. Now, that might sound a little bit like, for real, if I tell this guy now, he's going to walk away. What is the worst case scenario? He walks away. Isn't that the situation? Now, the reason why most of the time we don't always want to let things out It's just because probably we are not feeling secured about who we are with. If I let this person know that I used to smoke before, he's going to run away. Let me not let him know that I smoke. But guess what? Eventually, the person might find out later by himself or by herself. And that is where mistrust begins to set in. I want us to always have a mind of, if you're going to go, I think it's better you go. If you're going to stay, I think it's better you stay. Because you know why? If you have to give a lie, just one lie, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be needing about 10,000 more lies to cover that one lie. Where are you coming from? From the beer parlor. That is where you're coming from, real. But you don't want to say that, right? You have to lie. So where are you coming from? I'm coming from the office. By this time of the night, what happened? We have some document we did not finish up on time. What kind of document? You know, it is auditing time. You know, we have to put some auditing in place and so on and so forth. Auditing. I thought the auditing is meant to be in December. No. I mean, they just came up with this. They said we have to do it because they will be auditing us next month. Oh, really? Who are those company auditing you next month? Oh, it is XYZ company. But my friend works there and they do their auditing in December. Oh, sorry, I think I mixed up the name. I will get the name tomorrow in the office. Just for one lie, you need about 20 more lies to back it up. So why do I have to lie to Miss Shemilola? Why do I have to lie to Mrs. Adewale Elizabeth? Why do I have to lie to Miss Britta? Because either I like it or not, this truth is gonna fetch me out someday. The truth is gonna run after that lie and it's gonna catch up with it. No matter how many years you might want to run from it. Now, I've seen different comments here. Some things are better left unsaid. It's okay. It's fine. But when it comes to marriage, my ideology might be different from your ideology. In relationship, you might feel like, I just met him within 2 days. Why should I let him know about all my life? I don't need to let him know. Every one of us must have fell victim of that at some point in time. I've been in a relationship before. And I know there are some things probably that I communicated out of love and honesty. And later on, when things didn't go right, it's all over everywhere. This is what he told me. That is what he told me. At that point, you're going to feel some odd, like, I wish I never said those things. I wish I never said those things. I wish I never had to talk about it. I wish I just kept it. Maybe she wouldn't have known. Maybe he wouldn't have known. But what's the worst case scenario? They talk about it. After a while, he died off. After a while, you move on with your life. But you know fully well that you were open enough. You see, one of the reasons why we keep things away is because of our fear of the unknown. And let me let you know today, what you fear the most is what ends up coming to you. Oh, I don't want to experience divorce. I don't want to experience separation and so on and so forth. You are being too careful. The fear of it is always on you. If care is not taken, you might make a mistake that will lead to that. If care is not taken, you might make some silly mistake that might lead to that thing that you are being afraid of. So why don't you live your life? Why don't you just live your life? Why can't you just live your life and assume, well, it's gone? Though it will not change the fact that for me, bringing back the memory of some things I said to maybe one of my past relationship, and of course I heard it somewhere else, which I assume, oh, this is someone I love, let's keep it as a secret and so on. And maybe you later heard it 5-10 years later, or maybe 5 months, 6 months later. And that becomes a big deal. You feel the hurt. Just like in the comment section, somebody said, some things never dies off. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are some pain that you probably might not get ill of it. Some partners will keep reminding you all the time. Very, very correct. And that is why when it comes to love, marriage, relationship, you need to know who you are going with. And that's the honest truth. Maturity, it shouldn't be by age. Getting married to someone who is 50 years old does not mean that he's going to be matured enough to keep secrets or treat you right. Getting married to someone who is probably lesser than you, or maybe age-wise you are older than him, does not mean that the person will not be matured enough. Maturity is not measured by age. And this is where it comes. God forbid that happen. But eventually, if you find yourself with a situation where you know that this person is a parrot, he talks too much, she talks too much, at that point, you should be mindful of what you tell such person. You should be very, very mindful. You never can tell when you're going to be hearing your story and you might not be happy about it. But that's the condition to you being mindful, is if you study your partner to understand who your partner is. That this one cannot be trusted. Once he drinks like this, everybody hears what happened in his house. Everybody hears what happened between him and the husband yesterday. Everybody gets to hear the story. When you study your partner to that level, why not? I encourage you. Restrict yourself of the things you say. Why should you do that? You are doing that just because you know this person is not trusted enough to handle this information. And that is why, before you dip your feet into that situation, because I will still recommend and I will still preach openness in marriage. Be open. Be open. In relationship, be open. If you're already in a relationship, you find somebody else and you feel like, oh, you still want to date this person. Number one, that is wrong. That is you double dating. Is it that you let one person go and you start with another person fresh? And whosoever it is you're starting with, don't be scared of telling them where you are coming from. Don't be scared of saying it. Some things are to be left unsaid. That is the comment I see right here. Some things are to be left unsaid. But honestly, a day is coming when those things you left unsaid will catch up with you. What happened on those days? What happened when the person later found out that, oh, so you already have children elsewhere and you never told me? The woman will feel bittered. Just because you want to leave some things unsaid, then you left those things that will end up causing pain, breakage in the marriage and everything. You left it unsaid. It's going to fight you back. It will fight you back. It might look like, well, for the past 10 years, nothing is happening. Nobody gets to know about this. I mean, it's just within myself. Nobody knows apart from myself. Recently, while I came back online, somebody chatted me and the person asked a very, very sensitive question. Question that relates to myself and the person we schooled back then in University of Lagos. And she asked that sensitive question, what is blah, 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 blah. Tell me about this and so on and so forth. At that point, I was like, really? After 15 years, you still remember this? And guess what? There is somebody that I met recently. We schooled together. And I never thought I would ever meet this person again. I never thought I would ever meet this person again. But coincidentally, one day I got a call and the person said, hey, hello Tolu, how you doing? And so on and so forth. I was like, hey, who is this person? I'm surprised. Who is this person? Right? And she knows I'm the one, but I didn't know she was the one. Until later on, she sent a picture, said, do you remember this face? And at that point, I said to myself, the good you do will come back to you. The bad you also do will come back to you. If you feel like, well, I can just do anything and walk away with it scot-free. No. The good you do will come back. The bad you do will also come back. I never knew I'm going to be meeting that lady. So let's assume there is something that I've kept for years that I feel like, well, I'm no longer in University of Lagos. Nobody's going to see me again. I'm far away from University of Lagos now. I have moved to the northern part of the country and so on and so forth. Guess what? It might be a secret while I moved away. But what is going to happen? One day, something is going to catch up with something. And what you've been trying to hide for years will surface. What you've been trying to hide will surface. To some people right now, it might be too late for you to reveal that secret. I'm already in the marriage. If I go ahead and tell my wife right now that this and this and this happened between myself and this and that and so on, she might leave this marriage. Oh, I'd rather not tell him. We're already in marriage. It's over 4 years or 5 years now. Things have been going fine. Saying this will create a lot of unhealed pain. Just like Miss Britta said, that is the honest truth. The pain will be there. The pain will be there. We are human, and that is the honest truth. No matter how much you want to say you want to fight this, your mind will keep going back to it. This person said this. This person said that. But how can you help yourself out of that situation? Remembering it should not be a problem. Whenever you remember it and it comes with vengeance, that is where the sin is. That is where the problem is. To remember the things that have happened in time past is not a problem. Some say forgive and forget. We are human. I can forgive, but it might be difficult for me to forget. It's not a sin. It becomes a sin whenever I forget or whenever I remember and I feel like taking a revenge, or I want to hurt the person, or I want to do something to hurt the person badly. That is the dangerous part of remembering. Forgetting completely is almost impossible. Things that happened to me far back as 20 years, 25 years, 30 years ago, I still remember them. But when you remember those pain, do you feel like taking vengeance? Do you feel like I'm still going to hurt this person? That is where the problem is. So if you take to my own opinion, which everyone have their own opinion, and I've been able to see different comments, everyone with different comments in the chat box. Oh, I would rather let him go. Some things are left unsaid. Keep it. Some partners will keep reminding you all the time. What other thing have I seen here? I will tell him when the time is right and stuff like that. These are some of the things on your mind. It's okay. But when it comes to marriage, openness should be the key. Be open to your husband. Be open to your wife. Same thing as relationship. That thing you have been afraid of, if I'm open to him now that I've already have relationship before, he might think I'm an harlot. He might just walk away from me. Why are you keeping that information? Because you don't want to lose him. That's part of you not wanting to lose him. If you're not careful, you're going to lose him at the end of the day. That part of you, don't let me say it because he's going to keep talking about it. He will keep bringing it up all the time. I don't want to remember it again, and so on and so forth. Let it go. Let it go out of your mind. There are some things that I almost ran into. Let me say troubles that I almost ran into. Thank God I was open enough to tell people around me, this is what is going on. Trusted friends, trusted allies. I was open enough to say, and I found myself that in a lot of time when I'm supposed to take some action, take some drastic move that could have landed me in trouble, thank God I was open enough to whom I was in a relationship with. Thank God I was open enough to say, come and see this picture. Somebody sent this picture to me. Because you know why? A time is coming when you feel like that picture they sent to you, you just want to see it, nobody will see it again. Let me delete it. It might still be on your phone. Sometimes something might pop it up. And at that point, you will not be able to explain. And guess what? The moment your spouse, either your husband or your wife, lose that trust in you, you know, it might take 500 years, if that is possible anyways. It might take 500 years to build trust. But it only takes one day to lose that trust. Only one day to lose the entire trust. Now, Mr. Abiodun Oladunwo, he said, telling your wife your secrets might hurt someone in the future. That is a man talking from a part of being a married man. He said, if I tell my wife my secret, it's going to hurt me sometimes in the future. So not telling her will not hurt. But that is the twist. That is where we get it mixed up. That is where we got the whole thing mixed up. Because you feel like, I don't want to tell him right now. I don't want to tell my wife about this and so on. One day, something will catch up. And that thing you are hiding will be revealed. That thing you felt nobody should know about it. Nothing is hidden. And that's the honest truth. Nothing is hidden. It might take a while. It might take a longer period of time, but nothing is hidden. Some people will come from the perspective, you know, our society has taught us a whole lot of things. Different things that our society has taught us. How many of you can tell me some of those conceptions they planted on our head, societal-wise? Society has, I mean, this entire society has put a lot of things. Hey, women are wicked. Women are devil. All men are, what do they call them now? All men are what? Long may somebody remind me in the chat box. Men are what? Men are something. I want to see it in the chat box. Men are what? What are the misconceptions? What are the things that society has taught us about relationship and marriage? You didn't have to pay for those things. Hey, Mr. Biodun, absolutely. I remember you very, very well. FGS, yes, I know you very well, Mr. Abe. It's nice to have you on the platform. Tell me one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening, what are some of those things that the society has taught us? Wrong notions. And those things have been planted in our heart that when you see a man, you assume a man to probably be a snake. Okay, thank you very much. Mrs. Shemilola said, men are polygamous in nature. Beautiful. What other thing, what other misconception have we heard? What other things have the society taught us about the male gender and about the female gender? Olowoyeye Iyanu Deborah. He says, come. Why do you have to call it twice, right? Men has come. Who is going to be telling me what are the society saying about women too? What is society saying about women? I mean, these are men matter coming up. Men are polygamous in nature. Men has come, and so on and so forth. What about the women? What is society saying about women? All of these things would not really help us grow. And that is the honest truth. All of these things, we condition our mind towards ourselves. It's going to pitch us against ourselves. Yes, a man is saying women, one of the things society has told us that women are not always contented. Oh, niteloru. For those who does not understand Yoruba, that is what it means. Women are never satisfied. They are not always contented. Right? So these are the misconceptions that the society has shown us. And guess what? Those things has conditioned the heart of women to sometimes behave in that way. And those things have also conditioned the heart of men to behave in that manner. In the chat box, I can see men has come. Men are polygamous in nature. Women are not always. What other thing about women? There's only one thing I'm saying about women. What other thing about women? Should I tell you some? Okay, there's this joke I normally do, right? Men are moved by what they see. Oh, beautiful. Men are moved by what they see. Okay, so what are the things that move women? I want to hear from the women. What are the things that move women? There is this thing I say about women, right? Who is gonna help me in English? Let me say it in Yoruba, right? And I want somebody to put it out there in English. What does that mean? You can't actually satisfy a woman. You cannot satisfy a woman. Don't try to kill yourself. African culture is a culture of slavery towards women. Another deep one from Mrs. Debbie. African culture is a culture of slavery towards women. Okay, Michelle said women are crying babies. All right, thank you so much. Let's keep coming. Is it true that you cannot actually satisfy women? Women in the house, I can see you chatting. I just want to hear either yes or no from the women. I mean, let's face the truth. Women, I want you to confirm to us today. I'm not the only one watching this. There are a lot of people watching right now. Is it true that you cannot actually satisfy a woman, or women are not always contented? I want to hear. One of the women said, yes, you can't please a woman. Oh my God, that's deep. You cannot please a woman. That is a woman saying that. Other women, do you agree that it is true that we cannot please you? Is it true? Where are the men? Where are the men? Is it true that we cannot please a woman? Women said, yes, we cannot please them. What other things are we supposed to know about you, women? Because, you see, by the time you establish all of these points, then it helps you. It helps you to have an understanding of how to live. All of these are misconceptions that we've known. You can't please a woman. Women are crying babies. These are the things that society have said. These are the things that our situation, our environment has planted into us. Miss Britta said, no, it's not true. Miss Shemlola said, no, it is not true. You can actually please a woman. They are saying that, but I'm going to have to do a test run on that. What about the men? What are the misconceptions about men? Outside of being a scum, men are polygamous in nature. Are there any good things about men? Anything good that we can see about men? I want to hear, and I also want to hear the good things about women too. What are the virtues that women have? These are the things that can really help us understand ourselves better and know who are you opening up to. Should this secret remain with you, or you want to let it out? Who are you letting it out to if you want to let it out? Should it just be with you for life and you just keep it as that? Well, we are here today, and in no time we should be wrapping up with all of this. I think we still have about 15 minutes on our end. Another message said, you can't satisfy a woman who is not contented. You cannot satisfy a woman who is not contented. A simple woman who has contentment is actually easy to satisfy. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm loving all of this feedback from the women. It is very simple to satisfy a woman who is easily contented. That is the message right there. Ms. Anu said you can please a woman for sure. So to the women in the house, the question to you right now, can you please a man too? Do you think you can actually please a man? Do you think men can be pleased? I want to hear from you. Do you think men can be pleased as well? I mean, most of the women are saying, oh, you can please a woman. Oh, you can do this. Women are very simple. A man just posted, you can't please women because they are all doing photocopy and competing with their selves. Oh my goodness. That is very interesting. They are all doing photocopy and competing with their selves. That is a man saying that it's difficult to please a woman. But let me tell us the honest truth today. All of these are the misconception that has been planted in us. All of these are the misconception that we have in our mind that you can actually not please a woman. My prayer for you is that you will marry right. When you marry right, you will get to understand fully well that when you are with someone who is contented and understand your progress and your stages, she might want some things. We cannot rule that out. We are driven by different things. Women are driven by what they hear. Men are driven by what they see. There is a way you're going to speak to a woman, even when she wants that thing. In her mind, she's like, thank you, I'm fine. Okay, don't worry. I'll make do with what you've given to me. And there is a way you're going to push a man too. It will get to a point where if care is not taken, you will almost want to bring out the beast in him. So the quick update is this. Secrecy in marriage, secrecy in relationship. I'm always of the opinion that in both situations, please be open. It is your fear of this might break. If I tell him right now, it's going to keep reminding me for the next 50 years. It's going to keep reminding me for the next 100 years. Yes, it's bound to happen. Don't let me tell you otherwise. It's bound to happen. The person might have it at the back of his or her mind. The man might have it at the back of her mind. The woman might have it at the back of her mind. But you know, we heal over things faster than each other. And that is where measure comes in. You can tell. You should be open. But find the perfect time to do it. You can tell me something about yourself, and as a man, because I love you, I just say, well, it's okay. I mean, everybody make mistakes. Let's move on with life. And I just want to move on from there. and I'm already moving. To women, it doesn't heal on time. And that is their nature. It does not heal on time. Most of the women in the house today said, okay, I mean, it's better you just don't say it. It's better you say it. It's better you don't say it. What you said, if it is being served to you, the question is, will you be able to manage the information? Are you sure you will not start acting in relations to those things? Are you sure when the man comes up to you and say, well, I'm sorry, before I met you, I've made some mistake. I was in a relationship with XYZ person. I mean, we had some we have our moment together and so on and so forth. Or probably even while the marriage is ongoing, the man made a mistake and he approached you to say, this is what is going on. I made this mistake, but I just want to clear my conscience to tell you. Women in the house today, do you think it's going to be easy for you to let go of that information? Because for you, you are very honest. You are being honest. For the man, he doesn't want to keep it. Secrecy. He doesn't want to keep the secret. So the man approached you. I know we are married. I'm very sorry. This happened at my place of work and so on. Women in the house, do you think you can absorb that information and let go? This same scenario I just presented to you right now is eating really hard in someone's family that I know. The man made an honest mistake. He told me about it, and I told him, you have to make reconciliation with God, and you have to tell your wife about this. And that's the honest. You just have to tell your wife about it, no matter what. But guess what? Today, the man feels like, to see what I'm facing. This woman is showing me pepper. Every single thing. Law, you are going again. I've told you I'm no longer doing it again. It was a mistake of the past. So women, if you want 100% openness from a man, if you want 100% openness from a man, be ready to let go of whatever it is you hear. And we have to tell ourselves the truth. And to the men too, if you want 100% openness from a woman, you must be willing not to use that against her for no reason at any point in time. Everybody have a past. The gravity of the past is what differs. I have my own past. You have your own past. The gravity of this past is what differs. My past might just be that I stole something somewhere and I keep living with that guilt. Your own past might be that you might have probably had some maybe abortion at some point in time. Every woman wants to hear from their husband. Don't hide anything from me. Every man wants to hear from their wife. Don't hide anything from me. And that is the way you can build a lasting relationship. But the question is, can you undo those things when it comes to you? Because the way you react will teach a man to keep his secret away from you. The way you react will teach the wife never to bring those things to you, that this guy cannot handle this. This guy cannot really handle this. Let me let go. I've studied him over time. I have realized that it's just best not to tell him some things. There was some time when I don't like to hear bad dreams. I don't like to hear it. And these are the things that confront me all the time. Oh, I have this dream. I have that dream. I'm like, oh my goodness. And it got to a point, I stopped hearing those news. And I approached, I said, what happened? You no longer dream again? What was going on? He said, well, I've been telling you about dreams, but you don't want to hear it. So I stopped telling you. Are we sure we can handle the secret? Are we sure we can handle that secret? Being open is the best. Take it from me. I've seen so many comments here today. Oh, it's better not to say it. The society has taught us, don't tell your wife everything. Women are devil. Don't tell your wife everything. Oh, you. Internet has planted a lot of things on our head. On the internet, you will see you go the trust man. Are those not the things we see every day on the internet? And those things sticks to our brain and makes us believe that it's not good to trust a man. Those things sticks to our brain as a man. It makes us believe that women, you go to trust women. I don't know how they say it, right? But all of those things stick to our brain. And before you know it, it's going to affect the way we see ourselves. Let me take a few comments before we begin to wrap up today. I know I've said a lot here. Let me begin to see comments. Abiodun say you can't please a woman because they are always okay. I think I've seen that earlier. Women can be pleased. Debbie said we don't know what men really want. Oh my God! One of the things that men want, one of the vital things that men want, right? Take it or leave it from me. It might be seen from the perspective of, do you not want to make me your slave? Do you want to make me your slave? No. But one of the vital things that men want is respect. Now, this respect does not mean you have to kneel down and give me my food in the morning. Oh, you have to, when I come back, you have to call me Lord, Lord, Lord. No, that is not the kind of respect we're talking about. In the way you approach him, in the way you talk, let that be that tone of respect. Men are driven so much by that. So, Miss Debbie, I think I just answered one of your question there. But at the same time, you see, this will not stop, because some women will come to you like, why should I respect him when he's not even doing anything in the house? He's not providing for the house. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. There are some mistakes that you make that you might never be able to reverse it. You might never be able to correct it. Just live with it. The mistake of choosing somebody like that has been made. The attitude that I have with me right now that I did not correct until I get to the age of 40, 45, it's going to be difficult for me to correct that attitude. It has become part and parcel of me. There are some mistakes that men make, women make. Once you're already in that relationship, if it is still relationship and you've received some of this red flag, you know you can opt out, you can withdraw. But when it comes to marriage, once you are in it, I do not pray for divorce. I do not pray for separation. But that is always what happens at the end of the day. Why? Because you can no longer take those things. You saw those red flags from the onset, but probably because of love, right? So one of the things that men want is what? Respect. Come. Oh. Are they not two different things? Are they not two different things? Please come. Come, oh, useless person. These are the same thing said in two different ways. So men want respect, women want love, genuine love. Genuine. Let it just be genuine. Let it be genuine. Do we know when you're actually giving out that genuine love? Let me see some other comment section before we wrap up this segment on secrecy and marriage. There are still a whole lot of things to talk about it, because there are the scandal. We have the scandal aspect of secrecy. There are some things you want to keep to yourself that if care is not, you went out there, you fornicated, you have some issues, now you are HIV positive, and you say you want to keep it a secret? Oh, hell no, you won't do that. You won't do that. You say, don't let me tell my wife. You're gonna destroy a lot of generation. Go out there and say it. Go out there and say it. You can't keep such as a secret. Those are scandals. Hopefully, maybe next week, we might still delve a little bit into this, or we look into another topic entirely, right? But so far, so good. Mr. Biodu said, women are not the same, Sha. Some of them are very, very understanding. My life changed when I met my wife, and she changed everything negative in my life. That's so beautiful. I'm so proud of you, Mr. Biodu, that you met someone who changed everything negative about your life. I can absolutely understand. I prefer to hear it from him. That's from Milola. Another person said, Debbie, men want someone submissive and submissive. Then Miss Debbie said, women handle secrets better than men, though. Okay. Well, it might be a different twist with me. I think I handle secrets much more than women. I keep a lot of secrets, right? Maybe much more than women, or maybe some women do much more than myself, because I get to hear a lot of things, and it would be so wrong for me to come out here and start calling names. Oh, you told me this, you told me that. I'm not going to take anything you tell me and bring it out here to the public or mentioning your name. Omolanke said, from him is better. So when intruders try to spoil his image, you can defend him. Okay, hearing from him is better. I guess that is what she's trying to say. All right, a woman can be anything you want, but a man will still cheat. That was a very, very affirming statement. A man will still cheat. That's wrong. The percentage of those who will not cheat, I agree, they are very, very little. They're very, very little. The percentage of those who will not cheat. But to agree that all men will cheat, please throw it off. Not all men cheat. Not all men cheat. I can assure you that, and I can say that confidently. Not all men cheat. So please, Miss Debbie, I really want you to have a change of heart. The way you see men. Yes, we might all be coming from different perspectives, but guess what? We all just need to experience true love once. And you will get to have a better perception, a better thing, a better feeling about love. Love is a beautiful thing. When you're with someone who loves you genuinely, they go extra mile not to make you feel bad. They go extra mile not to even make you cry. And I pray that every one of us is going to experience that. So please, let's begin to change some of this misconception in our heart. If you are able to let him know, he can fight for you. Okay, that's another one. I think respect is reciprocal though. Thank you very much. That's the honest truth. Women want attention too. Beautiful, beautiful. Respect is what men want. Respect is what men want. We want love. When men love, definitely they will respect you. Ola Olukotso Ibrahim said, any woman that is not submissive do not deserve love. That is war. This man came with war. Any woman that is not submissive. I love that. But we must begin to change our mindset as men too. What's our definition of submissive? Sit down there, go there, do this, do that. Is that what we define as being submissive? The honest truth is, in relationship, yes, you are the man. You have a lot of decision to make, but you must work them out with your wife. You must work them out with your girlfriend, whosoever it is you're with. It's not going to be about, you know, I'm the man. Whatever I say is final. It doesn't work that way. I've learned a lot over the years. These are some of the things most men do. So when we say the word submissive, yes, we always like to rub the word submissive. And that is why women begin to see majority of us as we treating them as slave. Women don't like to be treated as slave. Women don't like to be seen as lower version. Women don't like to be seen in that manner. So let's begin to change our mindset about this. Respect your wife. She is going to respect you so much. Love your wife. That is the instruction. So the word submissive should not be seen as a means of being authoritarian. The word submissive should not be seen as a means of making the woman look like a slave. You know, I've gone out since morning. You should have prepared my food. Who says you cannot prepare it if you get home before her? I mean, she went out, or probably both of you went to the work and you came back home first. Why can't you go to the kitchen and prepare the food yourself? Or probably for the family. But the mindset of women have to be submissive. She has to do everything. And for the women too. Change your mindset from men as scum. Men are cheats. All men will cheat. I see somebody dropping the comment here. Not all men cheat. And for men, in as much as we want our wives to love us, respect is the most desired as well. Thank you very much, Gabriel Damilare. That's my very good brother right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, secrecy in marriage, keeping relationship, it's good. Relationship end up becoming marriage. I pray that we all find true love. We all find something good for ourselves out there. But when you feel like, well, I'm not going to let him know of this thing. I'm not going to let him know. I'm not going to let her know. Let me just keep it away. Someday, something will happen. She will know. One day, she might just be scrolling through your phone. Coincidentally, she saw a picture of 1977. And guess what? That thing you've been trying to preserve by lying, you will now need 1 million lies to back it up. At the end of that day, there might not be remedy. There might not be remedy. So why are you not open? Be open, say it out. Let me tell you one secret. In a relationship or marriage, don't try to serve back what you were served. Don't do it. It's just a law of karma. Anyone who serve you bad, wait, just give them time. Give them time. It's going to come back to them. If a man leaves you or walk out of your life, and you were not wrong. Underline the one you were not wrong. It might hurt you. Oh, I already told him everything about myself. He knows about this. He knows about that. If a man walks out of your life and you were not wrong, guess what? It is a loss for that man. You know why? That man has only given God the opportunity to provide someone better for you. It's as simple as that. You might not know now. You might see it. You might not see it now. But that man actually left. He gave God the opportunity to provide someone better for you. And vice versa. If a woman leaves his husband or her husband, walk out of the husband, and the husband is not wrong or guilty, that woman has only given God the opportunity to provide another better half for the man. So in all of this, whatever it is you are with, if you call someone the love of your life, I don't think there should be things you cannot open up to tell the person, except if only you are foreseeing dangers or problem. Don't let me tell him, I think this marriage will still break. Why are you there in the first place? I'm not going to tell him this secret. Why are you in that love relationship in the first place? You might think you'll be able to handle things. It might not go the other. It might just go the other way around. So I encourage you, first and foremost, identify who you're with. Can this person handle the truth? Can this person handle this information? And so on and so forth. If you notice that this person is weak in so many areas that you feel like might be a problem, don't even start that journey. Than for you to start it and begin to say, oh, it's not this, it's not that, I want to leave. Thank you very much for everyone who commented. Men, you are not your wife's boss, but other half. Absolutely. We are there to support ourselves. So there shouldn't be anything you are hiding. Any love relationship that you start and you have to start hiding things away from yourself, there is problem. Wala mawa. Wala mawa. It might take a while, right? It might take a while to get to that level of being completely open. Don't forget, today's teaching, today's conversation is not about, oh, they said we should start exposing everything now. Let me start telling you everything. No. You might take a while to study who you're with. Understand who this person is. Try to know if this person can handle the reality of this truth. With time, communicate it. Communication is key. I really want to tell you things, but I'm scared if you will not use them against me. Hear from him, because you might be assuming he will use it against you, and that is not what is on his mind. I agree that when conflict happens, some of these things flash back, and if you are not matured enough, you might want to start using it. Do you know this happened? Do you know that happened? Do you know that happened? That is lack of immaturity. If something happened between X and Z, you and somebody, and because things didn't go right anymore, the marriage didn't go well, the relationship didn't go well, and it has to be that, well, you know that he has slept in a lot house before. Oh, you know that all the things he kept or she kept with you, you deem it fit to start spreading it to the world. That's lack of maturity. Going forward, let's study ourselves, understand your wife. Communication is key. Feel free to communicate with your wife. Feel free to communicate with your girlfriend. I really want to tell you things, but you see, the way you react to things, I'm not sure you can handle some of these things. Communicate it. Probably she might improve. Probably she might get better. Because you might think, I don't have to say it. I've seen everything. This one is not going to change. Who told you? Put his heart in prayer, and you'll be surprised. We've learned a lot here today. I'm so impressed with the comment section that I've seen so far. I love the fact that men are able to express themselves. I love the fact that the women are able to express themselves. And I'm so sure that every one of us has gained 1 or 2 lessons from this. Questions from anybody? Question in the chat box. Any question whatsoever? I have, this is 2:07. I'm 7 minutes late already. Let's see what we can do in the next 3 minutes before we wrap up. How has this section been for you? Let me see in the comment section. Has it been good for you? Has it been impactful? We're going to be having another section next week, and I'm gonna be telling you the topic. And of course, if you have some things in your mind, things you really want to share, and things you feel like, hey, I think I just have to bring this up here, because it's not going to be about me talking alone. I want it to get to a stage where you can also join the live. Feel free, tell us what is on your mind. What is it you're going through? Let people advise you, right? Together we can always win. Together we can help ourselves. Together we can grow together. Together we can avoid those mistakes. You might not see the red flag. If you come out here and say, oh, I think I noticed this, I noticed that, and so on, people will advise you, hey, run, no, things like that. You will get to hear it, right? If you feel like you want to drop probably you have some things on your mind, you want to put it in the email box. It's going to be toluoginimedia@gmail.com, toluoginimedia@gmail.com. Feel free, drop in whatever questions you have at toluogini, TOLUOGINNI, Toluogini, and media, MEDIA, toluoginimedia@gmail.com. My team will always be there to check what your message is, and of course, every Friday we will be meeting. How has this section been for you? I want to see in the chat box. Has it been good? Has it been interesting? Did you pick any lesson? What lesson did you pick? Let me hear one or two things in the chat box before we wrap up. Give me one or two lessons that you've picked in the whole of this process, and let me see if we've actually picked something out of this whole process. I want to see from the chat box, to those who are actively listening and watching, what lessons have you taken from this conversation of secrecy in marriage and relationship? I have preached openness. Openness is very key. Be open. And I won't tell him, I won't tell her. Something will bring it up later. And you might not be able to correct things at that point. A question just came in. What if you already married and you find out there is a mistake before marriage? What can you do? Honestly, once you are married, whatever mistake that comes in before that marriage, let that mistake be before the marriage. Don't let it affect your marriage. You just have to talk things through. For instance, that is a question from Mrs. Omalanke right there. Before the marriage, this man already gave birth somewhere. He already has kids somewhere. It is so bad that this person did not tell you before the marriage. But now you're there. And I cannot encourage you to walk out. If you walk out, another person is going to walk in and possibly take all the fruit of your labor. So why not sit down and brainstorm together? This mistake has happened. No matter how much you fight it, no matter how much you criticize, no matter how much you talk, you cannot go back again to correct what is gone. But you can start from now and build a better future. So the mistake has happened. You said, based on the message, based on the question right here, you are already married and you find out there is a mistake before. Underline the word before the marriage. It might be very awful that why didn't you tell me about this before we move this far and so on. But as I've said, this is where communication is key. Most of the men want to communicate with the women, but they are scared. They're scared you will not be able to handle the information right. So you have to be able to tell your man, be open to your man to say, see, whatever it is, tell me. Tell me. And you have to face the reality. Because I know it's difficult for women, most especially, to let go of some hurts. It doesn't go on time. Men can move on in the next 1 month. Women can still be battling with it for the next 3 years. I understand this. So since the question said before marriage, you can only sit down together. Okay, you've given birth before marriage. What do we do? We're going to have to accept this kid into our home, but I don't want this person to live with me. Let's get a place. Let them stay with grandma. Let her stay with grandma. We're going to be fending for the school. Is your son? I've married you. I've accepted you. Let's find a way around it. Every one of us have made mistakes. Take it or leave it. It's just that it swings. It swings. Today is the mistake of the man. Tomorrow it could be your own mistake. So do to your man what you will want your man to do to you if you happen to be in that situation. Do to your wife what you want your wife to do to you if she finds out you mess up. Because it's the man's turn today. What if it's your turn tomorrow? How do you expect him to treat you? How do you expect him to respond to you? How do you expect him to treat the situation? That is the way you should treat it now. I believe I've been able to answer that question. Thank you very much, Ms. Omalanke. I see your message. I believe there are no more questions. Are there any questions from any corner? Okay, there's another question right here. I hope we leave here on time today. What if the man tells the woman after marriage that he can't perform as a man? And what if a woman tells a man after marriage that she doesn't have a womb? All of these are issues that we face and we hear of a lot of time. But some of these things can be avoided. Some of these things can be avoided. When you go for, if it is not the marriage of seeing each other on the street and just going inside and start doing, no. Go through the right channel. Have a counseling moment. Go for medicals. Don't let it be that you've already have the ring. You are entangled before you now found out that this man cannot perform. If you take this to the general society, take this to Instagram. They will tell you, why didn't you have sex before marriage? You see, this society is turned out already. Everything is upside down. But it's left to you to know what you want. Before you get into what we call marriage is an institution. It's for life. That is why they say till death do us part. It's not like let me go test run for 6 months and come back. Let me go test run for 2 weeks and come back. Let me go test run for 1 year and come back. There is no coming back. That is the only school that you will never graduate from. You don't graduate from marriage. So before you dip your feet deep into the ocean, take measures. Go for medical checkup. Go for counseling. Are there any secret I'm supposed to know? Are there things I do not know? So peradventure, just peradventure, if I want to treat this question the way you've sent it, what if, I've already told you the mistake was from the onset. They should have done the right thing before they get into marriage. But what if this happens, they didn't do the medical checkup, they never did anything, they never get to check their genotype, or are we going to be having AA children or AS children? It's just about love at first sight. So he has BS. He's whenever I smile, I dilate. Okay, if that is the kind of love that you find yourself, that just by smiling you dilate, and you ignored all the most important thing, and you are now focusing on the irrelevant things. This mistake has happened. A man didn't tell his wife. What if the man tells the wife after marriage that he cannot perform as a man? That is something I never pray for anybody to experience. But at that point, see, for you to get your sanity, we're going to talk about divorce and separation later on in the course of this thing. For you to get your sanity, you might want to separate for a while. Excuse yourself. Think through. What do you want to do? Do you want to subject your life to someone who you will not be able to have kids with? The mistake has been done. Because it's better to avoid the mistake before it happens. Mistakes in a relationship can be corrected. Mistakes in marriage, it takes God's grace to correct it. Excuse yourself for a while. Separate yourself. Not divorce. Don't miss it up. There's a difference between separating and divorcing. Separate yourself for a while. Take your time. You might just travel to some place, maybe 1 month. Just think through. Get your sanity. Know what you want to do. Come back and make your decision. If you want to stick with the man, good. The mistake has been made already. If you feel like walking away is your best option, that becomes your best option. That is you deciding that. But the first thing in situations like that, excuse yourself for a while. Think through. Know what you want to do. All right? I believe everyone has gotten a whole lot, and thanks for those who came up with questions. I don't think we have much question anymore, and we are 16 minutes late already into this conversation today. How has this been for you? I want to see your comment section. I want to see your response in the comment section. Was this interactive? Is there any other thing you feel should be added to this next week Friday? Let's take feedback from you. These are the things we're going to be adding up, and come back again next week so that we all can keep learning from ourselves. We all can keep growing in love, and we all can have a stable marriage, a stable relationship. And it's not going to be a relationship of every day of heartache. You don't deserve that. You deserve peace. Whatever is going to take you your peace, whatever is going to cost you your peace, you must work against those things, right? So before you get to a point where you are stuck with this man forever, before you get to the point where you are stuck with this woman forever, let's talk it through. Let us talk it through on Art to Art with TJO. Any suggestions, any feedback? What has the section been for you? I want to see it in the chat box. One of the very feedback I'm seeing right here. This section is interesting and interactive. Thank you very much, Debbie, for that. The section really helps. That is from Mrs. Omalanke Adekunle. All right, I want to see more of that. Let's keep popping it in as we begin to wrap up. We want more. We want more. All right, sure. There's going to be more every Friday between the hour of 6 p.m. West African time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that will be 12 noon Central CST. right? Everybody's time difference is different, but of course, if it's coming Eastern Standard, you can always do the conversion and know what time it's going to be in whatever country you are listening from. So far so good. This is how far we can go today. We're going to be seeing again next week, and probably we're going to be talking more about some very, very interesting topic that will be posted on Thursday. There are so many things to talk about, and you really do not want to miss those sections. Elizabeth said, I enjoyed every bit of the section. Thank you very much. And of course, feel free, please share this on your platform. If you're watching right now, just share it so that just the way you've been blessed, other people can also be blessed. Let them also take their time to watch it and learn things from there. Feel free to share this on your platform. Feel free to share with your friends. Feel free to let them know that there is something that happens every Friday that is set to start changing life. To make it more interactive, please make room for people to join the live. Yes, it's available. Oh, Miss I said it from the onset. Yeah, it's available for people to join the live and let them express themselves. Let's see. Do we have anybody who want to give that a try? I joined the conversation late, but I was able to learn something big. Thank you very much, Olukotsun Ibrahim Akim. Miss Debbie, do you want to try joining the live? The live section has been on. I said it earlier when we started that, yes, if you have any question, contribution, it's just as good as you clicking. There is this icon beneath your phone or your laptop where you have like two heads being joined together. Let's keep that a try. Let's even try that before I leave. Let someone try to click on that. Miss Debbie, if you're there, try to click on that and let's see if we can have a live section together. You can, it will not be only me talking. I want to hear back from you. I want to hear back from everyone. Do we have anyone who want to join the live section before we leave in the next maybe 1 minute thereabout? Anyone who feels like joining? Yes, just to test run this, right? The section is open just right beside where the camera is on your phone or your system right now. Okay, I think I have one request. Yeah, let's give a shot with somebody who is trying to join right now, and I think that is Olukotsun. Let us see. And let's take a feedback from Olukotsun, how the whole process, the whole training, the whole conversation today has been for him. Let me see. Olukotsun, where is he right now? Okay, I found him right here. And let's see if he will be able to join the live section. I just joined the conversation late. Okay, good. So, Mr. Lukotun, yes, I think I just accepted you in. Hopefully, we might be able to see ourselves. And that is how we can transit every weekend. To make it more interactive, please make the room for people to join the live. Yes, from next week, we will be able to join the live. Just go there and click on invite. You really want to join? I'm going to see it from here and I will be able to add you in. Thank you all for your contribution. I'm not sure we can get Mr. Olukotun on board right now. Okay. All right. I found 2 people on live section. Let's give 1 minute to see how this can be. See. Okay, Mrs. Shella is also trying to join the live. This is becoming very interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, so a whole lot of people trying to join the live, but I'm sure if we should start that right now, only God knows if we will be able to wrap up all of this conversation today, right? So, but all the same, I believe we're going to be exploring all of this more from next week, and we'll be able to do more for ourselves. So on this note, ladies and gentlemen, this is how far we can go today. I want to believe it's been an interactive one for you. Please do click on the share button and of course, let it go around. Share this alongside with everyone who gets to know about it. Hey, I have Mr. Olukoto himself who is able to join the live. How are you doing out there, brother?
I'm good. It's been a long time.
All right, it's been a long time indeed. Hope you had a great time today. How was the section for you?
So it was really great. It was really great.
All right. So,
initially, what I learned was that just the matured what just maybe is what I just learned. The maturity in the relationship is what I just learned.
Maturity.
So I think that. Yes, I think that.
All right.
Because I joined the conversation late, and the issue I was able to understand was not that maturity of the thing. We are matured, you know how to table things in a way when you know someone is acting, and you know the mood that your spouse is, you know how to table things in a way that you will still feel like, okay, this is what is going. It's a normal thing that happened and it has gone. Thank God it's a normal thing. You understand? So that's just why I think the maturity of the thing.
That's good. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Olakoto. It's so nice to see your face again. You look so good, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much for joining. All right?
You're welcome, brother. You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap up, and yes, that was someone who is able to check in and be able to test run the live section. So from next week, let's come around and have a live section like that. I want to hear from you. I want to also hear, I don't want to be the only one telling you things. I also want to hear from you. And thanks to everyone who have learned something. And we're going to be wrapping up real quick. And yes, on this note, I'll say good night, everyone, wherever you are. Good day, good night. And I'll see you again next week, Friday, Art to Art with TJO. Feel free to share on your platform and let people be aware of this awesome program where we will be able to help ourselves, talk more about relationship. I've been seeing so many things trending. Should we be sharing bills in marriage? Should the husband allow the wife to share bill? We're going to bring it up here too. We're going to talk it out, right? But I'm going to be letting you know every Thursday what the topic is. And don't forget, if you have anything bothering your mind, just feel free to send an email to toluoginimedia@gmail.com. Anything whatsoever, we will bring it here. I don't have to mention your name. I will tell it to the world, and we take suggestions from everybody. On this note, I say good night, everyone, and enjoy yourself.